I want you to root down through your sit bones, through your feet, and start to roll your shoulders back a few times, then forward, then one more time up and down the back. Press the shoulder blades together. And if your eyes aren't closed, closing your eyes here, and start to tune into the quality of your breath. Notice how you're feeling this evening. Allow yourself to really relax into your chair, into your couch, wherever you are. Notice the rise and fall of your body with each breath in and each breath out. And start to lengthen your inhales and extend out your exhales. We'll begin with 3 cleansing breaths. As you empty the breath out, take a deep breath in through the nose and an audible exhale out through the mouth. Take a deep breath in through the nose and an audible exhale out through the mouth. And one more deep breath in through the nose. Hold it at the top. Can you sip in a little bit more air? And let it go out through the mouth. Seal the lips, start to breathe in and out through the nose. And feel the breath move through the back of the throat, down the length of the spine, and into the belly. I invite you to set an intention for our session this evening. Allow it to organically come into your consciousness. My invitation for you is to be open, curious, and most importantly, to have fun, knowing that the insights that you need in this moment in time will clearly come through. Coming through me, coming through yourself, and the others joining the session today. Empty the breath out. Take another deep breath in through the nose and an audible exhale out through the mouth. And as you're ready, gently open your eyes, coming back to the present moment and the present space. All right, welcome back. If you joined during the meditation, make sure that you have a journal and a pen to take some notes. If you want to take some notes, don't worry, I will send the replay out. So I actually drew a couple cards here. And the first card, I asked, like, what is the challenge that this group is facing when it comes to career and business, and what might be blocking that career and business clarity? And I drew a card that was a little surprising to me. I had to sit with it. It's inspiring others. The message on the back says, I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. So, what does this actually mean? Inspiring others. This card is really talking about asking for help. You are feeling conflicted, you're feeling like you have more questions than answers because you are relying on yourself. You are being hyper independent when the answers you seek, they will be clearly reflected back to you if you just connect with someone. If you connect with like a friend, it could be literally a random person in a coffee shop. More than ever, being together in like-minded groups is so important because we learn so much by being together. And it's about like an invitation about letting other people in to co-create, to like collaborate and to commiserate. That's an important one. And it feels like we're working in isolation, that we're feeling behind. And the more that we kind of go inward and kind of spin those internal wheels, questioning ourselves, the more we kind of just kind of deepen the groove, deepening the groove of like, oh, like, am I doing this right? Like, what's going on? And it feels like when you're like, okay, like I have all these things I'm thinking about or decisions I'm making, it's like if you ask for help, it's like you're being like too much. You're asking too much from others, or you should already know the answer. But something that comes up every single time, like in all of my readings, when people are like, I feel like I'm behind, or I feel like, I should have the answer to this. Like, people are asking me this at the ages of 22, 35, 45, 55, 65. Like it's just, it really is. Every single person feels this way to some like shape or form. So I want you to realize there isn't like I should be here at this time or I should know this. And I constantly have to remind myself that as well. This card is requiring more intimacy, more sharing of your needs to those around you who want to help you, who may have no idea that you're going through a tough time or you have all these thoughts, these questions filling up your mind, and it's causing you to maybe be distracted, or not being as present in relationships, or maybe being a little grumpy, maybe a little bit annoyed. And they're just like, I don't know, like, they're just like going through something. And so the message is there's like no need to do it alone. Okay. The second card that I drew, because I love a good plan. If you've gotten a reading from me, you know that I always give like, a list of things that you can do. So I asked like, what's like an action item, something to do to kind of allow yourself to step away from this constriction, this feeling of, being in isolation, feeling behind, or needing to have the answers yourself. And I drew the card allowing appreciation. The value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it. So, what does it mean, allowing this appreciation to come through? It's reframing your challenges, and your opportunities. It's allowing yourself to understand you are not behind, you are on your own timeline and your challenges are good for you. And the more you try to like get out of it, it's like quicksand. You're like, I'm sinking. I don't want to be here, but it's like I'm going to get out. It's not working. But when you kind of release, you just like allow yourself to surrender to the season of life that you are in. You float up to the surface. You're like, oh, actually, like the edge of the land is right there, and I can like easily like crawl out. It's increasing your capacity to grow and to like feel these challenges. And it's shifting your mindset. It's boosting your mood. So what this tells me that each and every one of you can integrate something into your mornings, into your evenings, maybe even throughout the day to remind yourself that you are okay, that nothing is wrong. You are okay. If you believe that things are working out for you, it is working out for you. It's about boosting your mood. Like, what do you do when you are feeling down, when you are feeling anxious? Allowing yourself to feel those emotions, but also finding ways to transmute and to change the way that you feel so that, you know, sometimes like we can get stuck in a feeling and we kind of just start feeling sorry for ourselves and like watch like movies and kind of distract ourselves, and to a certain degree like that is a healthy thing to do, but after a while it is just energetically pulling you down. So it's about finding ways to get yourself unstuck from the grooves that you have made for yourself. And that can just look like a gratitude practice and finding ways to approach a challenge or an opportunity through three different perspectives. I actually shared this with a client earlier this week. When you're presented with a challenge, when you're presented with a problem, how can you perceive it through three different ways. It could be a good way, neutral way, a negative way, or it could be like let's say you're applying to a job and you're hearing back. What are three positive outcomes that can come from it? Okay, so these are the cards that I drew. I'll send a photo because I blur I blur on so you can't really see them really well, but I'll send a photo in the follow-up email. So I thought the cards would be really nice. It's something that we can really hold on to and guide us. And let's talk about the astrology of the season and what I really felt as I looked through all of your charts and some of the intuitive messages that came through. All right, so most of you follow my content. You know it's been a wild ride. If you read my content religiously, I gave everybody a warning in late July for what was going to happen in September because I felt like it was my ethical moral responsibility to let you know that September was going to be a portal, a phase, a kickoff of becoming this new version of yourself, releasing the past, releasing perfectionism, the need to know. We all have this type of characteristic present in an area of our lives. It's about letting go of the plans we had for ourselves. It's September, and this year has not gone to really anybody's plan. There's been something that has changed or shifted. You're like, I thought this was going to happen, but it didn't happen. Is it even meant for me? This is a question that's come up. I know some of you are thinking about it right now. What is yours will always be yours. And even if it doesn't happen at the time you thought it was going to happen or somebody told you it was going to happen, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. That's a reframing of a mindset. Maybe that job didn't come through or the job did come through and you're like, wait, I don't want this. Like, this is not what I signed up for. I had no idea, you know? And that's okay. Things surprise us. This is the year where we cannot plan. It's to keep us sharp and to keep us in the lanes of faith and trust rather than control and planning. And we are stepping into a version of ourselves that leans more into intuition led versus just practical and logic based thinking and decision making. September was a month that encapsulated, that pushed us to embody the things that we have been learning. I would say that it is one of the toughest like months that we have this year to learn the lessons of letting go and to believe and to have faith that things are working out for you. Let's say you have a new business or you have a new habit, a new lifestyle choice that you are kind of, like getting used to. And I want to ask you, are you consistent? Are you consistently believing in yourself that it's working out? Because when you're consistently believing in yourself, having that confidence come from within instead of external sources, that's when it all works out for you. The reason why you have not gotten the results you want or the answers you are seeking is because you have wavered in trust in yourself and that it's working out for you. Consistency, consistency, consistency is so, so, so important. This month, eclipse season brings us what we need, but maybe not what we want. It is an energetic pathway, an entryway, a gateway to this transformation that started in September, but will continue all the way through early March when we have that full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd. Okay? During these 6 months, people always ask me, is there things I need to do? I'm like, there's things that you can do, like make sure that you have your good spiritual practice and journal and have a good, way to process your emotions and to like move energy through your body. But really, it's already like laid out. The opportunities and the challenges will come through. Just allow yourself to move with great grace and give yourself grace. There is an area of your chart where Virgo shows up. And I have this information for each and every one of you. So that's something I'm going to share during your individual readings, messages of a transformation that is happening for you. Okay. And you intrinsically, intuitively feel it already. If you close your eyes right now, You just kind of think like, what's an area of my life that I need to kind of release some control, but also probably need to add a different type of discipline and structure to it. What's this fresh start that has kind of been coming up for me? It's already something that like is sitting within you. And the season has really brought it out, especially with these back-to-back new moons in Virgos on August 22nd and September 21st. Now, October is kind of bringing some things that we've been learning about the last few years into a full circle moment. Now, for those who have Aries and Libra and the number 1 and 7 showing up a couple times, like, 3 or more times in your chart, or Aries or Libra in your big three, your sun, your moon, your rising. I know that you've gone through it the last few years when it comes to relationships, with your identity, with who you are in relation to others, leaving behind toxic relationships. We've all learned these lessons, but for Aries and Libra friends, you've learned these lessons acutely more. And next month, there's going to be the fresh start, the new beginning, the leaving the past behind that we've all been waiting for. October 6th, full moon in Aries. This is a culmination moment, a manifestation moment about like your identity, about where you're advocating for yourself more, feeling more confident, more visionary, more leadership oriented. This is something we're all experiencing in an area of our lives. And then on October 21st, we have that new moon in Libra. This is the perfect time to um, start new relationships, whether personal or business, having a new perspective on relationships, finding ways to be more social, more engaged with your local community, and having more faith and trust in relationships once more. It is a full circle moment. Okay. So, September, we're ending eclipse season. Some of these things are kind of shaking out a little bit more for like the next week, week and a half, and you'll kind of continue to see these things ripple forward. It could look like new work routines, new work environments, your business or the company you work for moving offices or switching HQs, operational changes, changes to the way you do things, more like implementation, integration of AI and AI agents. It could also look like changes to the executive team as well. So you may have seen some of this. Maybe you're also involved in some of these things like at work, but it's really going to play out over the next 6 months. So as you specifically at the individual level go through a specific change where Virgo shows up in your chart, as a collective, we are going through tremendous change related to work as well. And one of the best things that you can prepare for this change that will come is to work on the human aspects of yourself. That's empathy, that's creativity, imagination, and your intuition. These are the things that make us human. These are things that make us dream and imagine new things where machines cannot replace us, at least for now. So I want you to take on a creative hobby. I want you to learn and practice reading a person, reading a room, sensing the energy of a coffee shop. Does it match your energy? Does it make you feel excited? Does it make you feel stressed? Like, really start to pay attention to how people, situations, places, and things make you feel. Add in a creative hobby, and every single day find a way to go within and listen to your intuition. Now, listening to your intuition, two notes. If you've been through a lot of trauma, where you kind of feel a lot of anxiety, this can be a little bit challenging. So you're gonna need to regulate your nervous system first to shift from like survival to one that feels a little bit more safe. So you want to be regulating your nervous system through breath work, through meditation, through breathing, whatever it may be. And then the second thing is that you can hear your intuition and you're like, I know my intuition is saying this, but you still go through it. You still go do the thing that you were doing because it's a lesson that you were learning. So know that that happens as well, and not to be so hard on yourself when you're just like, I really should leave this job, but I'm just gonna be in it for like another month, or I really think I need to start this business, but I just don't feel ready. And somehow, like, somebody asks you about it, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna launch that soon. I'm gonna launch it. So that's something I wanted to note. All right, I have some other comments here. Okay, some common themes I also saw in everybody's chart. Not everyone's chart, but like the majority is like some themes around imposter syndrome, running away from problems. And so I want you to know that you know a lot and that what you resist will persist. So it's best to just rise to the occasion, meet that challenge, meet that discomfort, meet that uncomfortable conversation so that you don't get it trapped in your body. Another message that came up was to let go of fear and allow your higher and future self to clearly come through to inspire you each and every day, especially for the rest of the year. Connect with your future self. What would they do? What are the routines like? If you have a problem currently in this reality, what would your future self do? How would they solve that problem? What would they say? Okay. Shabnan says, I'm so sad Virgo season is over. It was really helped me get my life together in regard to career and health. Well, it's just a potent energy. It's still gonna be present, but it's still there. And Savannah says, Mia Cancer that avoids conflict at all costs. Yeah. Yeah, there'll be a little bit more conflict in the coming weeks leading up to the full moon in Aries on October 6th. Lots of feelings. You might be feeling some frustration, and conflict as well. Any other questions or comments? No? Okay. I'm going to pause the collective recording. So those are the collective messages. And now I'm going to go through each person a message that I have for you on kind of like next steps and how to get more career clarity. And then I think because we have a couple people with the same types of Virgo houses, I'll cluster you together so that it doesn't get too repetitive.